What's up, guys? Brandon's Garage is here. So unfortunately yesterday our Z06 got damaged. I was leaving the dyno, just got the ported throttle bodies put on, saw what numbers they make, and then on the way home I was behind a car in the left lane. It shot up a huge retread from 18-wheeler and just smashed my windshield, took out the headlight, and then got the mirror, some of the paint protector film, and then also put scratches on the side of the car. It was a pretty nasty collision, which is very unfortunate. But here's the damage. So we've got a pretty bad spot here, PPF here. I don't know if that's through to the paint. We got a cracked headlight under here. Unfortunately, this whole piece got busted. I've got a new one on order. I had film all over this, so that's relatively protected. I think there's a spot down here. I have no idea how that got hit. Something somehow hit. I guess maybe it was just long. I mean, this thing was huge. And then of course, there's the main impact on the windshield. Cracks all the way down. And we got the mirror. And then over here, it's gonna be hard to see these, but there are scratches in the quarter panel right here. This one looks like it's through the paint. I had PPF down to this spot right there. And then up here, I did not have PPF. And so now I've got these scratches. Let's see if you can kind of see it. You can see it there. And I don't think those are going to buff out. I'm going to try, but I'm going to do all this repair myself, and I'll document it. Reason being is because, you know, by the time you file insurance, this is probably my guess. You know, headlights from the factory is $1,300. We've got paint protective film all over the front. That's $3K. The windshield, the insurance probably charges $800. And then we got maybe painting that rear quarter, unless they can find a way to fix that otherwise, which I think probably requires a repaint. So I'm guessing $4K minimum, depending on the paint protective part, whether that actually factors in or not. So I'm just gonna do it myself. I've already ordered the headlight. It's en route. It was actually got a used one off of eBay. Has supposedly a perfect screen on it. I'm not sure what year it's from, but I was told they are all the same, no matter you know, Stingray or what year. So that headlight's on its way now for $800. It's pretty good. I've got a windshield scheduled to be done on Friday for $450, which that's way cheaper than I thought. I've got heads-up display on these cars at standard, so I would have thought it'd been more money, and it's not. So that's good. And then today we're going to look at all this damage. I'm going to start cleaning the PPF, see actually how bad it is, and then kind of go from there. I'm going to rip all this stuff off and then kind of start at that point. This actually paint protection film. What do they say this thing? You're supposed to heat this stuff before you take it off. So that actually looks quite a bit better. You can just the impact part, and then down here it puts this shield in. Man, if it weren't for that right there, a windshield, that'd be an easy fix. Oh, and then down here, I'm gonna see if I can clean all this off. I can't tell if this is through the paint. But anyway, so stay tuned. We're gonna start working on it, and then I'll just make this a little series of just the repair, trying to get her back to her former glory. So, all right, stay with me. What?
Why did you come up here?
And just washed, took some of this Adams Revive and Polish and some Rain-X cleaner. The Adams actually did the best, and I went over the area, and you guys saw it before. All the black is gone, the scuffs. You can still see it's in the film. I don't think it's through the paint. It's going to be hard to tell without removing it, but these I'm pretty confident at 6mm that's not through the paint. So it got all of that off. There's just some residual scarring of the paint protective film, but most of that's all off. Down here, I haven't hit that hard yet with this Adams. That'll probably come off as well. And then let's see, we've got the windshield, of course, it looks fine, but the mirror, I just hit it with it. Looks perfect. Back to normal. I mean, way better than I was expecting. There's a couple little, see little scratch areas. And then the quarter panel, I won't be able to capture probably very well. Mostly gone. There's one scratch right there. It's about 1.5 inches. And it's the only thing that I can see right now. Everything else looks like it's gone with a little bit of polishing and just hand rubbing. So I don't know how crazy I feel about that, how much that's going to bother me. That's the only area that's not paint protected, and everything else is fine. And so aside from headlight, which I'm gonna have to remove the bumper to get off, that's not bad. This is better than I expected. Way better, way worse. All right, so just to recap, we have FUBAR'd our car. I've got it all cleaned up. It's looking better. Headlights still messed up. Windshield I can't get right now. I thought I was going to have it replaced. It's actually not available. So what we are going to do today is we're going to take this headlight off, bumper off. We're going to replace it with this new one that I just bought on eBay. I got this here in 2 days. It's 800 bucks. It's not too bad. It's supposed to be for 21 to 22, 23 model. I'm hoping it's the same for 24. Nobody can say whether it is for sure or not. So it's kind of a gamble. So we're all going to learn that together. And the reason I think it's the same is because up here, I think there's the windshields I can't source. Nobody's got them. They're different for 24. I think all the changes for the intelligent lights and the auto high beams and stuff is probably all in these sensors right there. That's my guess. That's probably why the windshield I can't get. And so I think this light's gonna work. So we're gonna swap that. Also have this carbon fiber front splitter from Apsis. As you can see, this is kind of how it was packaged. They were wrapped. I've unwrapped some of them to look at them and inspect them. But when you look in this box, I mean, this is not how you'd expect to get something from that's $2,000 from a company. This is carbon fiber pieces. The pieces actually look pretty good on the paint. But this piece right here says replace. Like, what the fuck does that mean? I don't know. So we're gonna try to put this on and see kind of what headaches we run into with that. We're gonna pull the front bumper. I'm gonna be cutting into the bumper. These templates that were sent are garbage. You know, I hate to dog on a company, but so far I was tempted to send it back, but they charged me $100 and I want to say $75. Let me look at this to verify. And shipping, let's see. For this box and this packaging, you're gonna charge $175. I mean, what? Yeah, so it was $128, sorry. I don't know, that seems excessive. This box weighs like, I don't know, 10 pounds tops. And you see the dimensions there, $128 from New York on the East Coast. I'm not buying it, so that's just, I don't know. I'm just not impressed with everything so far. I don't want to be one of those guys that nitpicks everything, but this is unacceptable in my opinion. So let's get started. That's going to be the episode today. Is getting this bumper off, swapping this headlight, trials and tribulations along with it. We're going to go from there. So stay tuned. First step, get your wheel off. You've got to take off this inner liner here. This has a, I think it's a 7mm in the bottom, and then these are all T15s all the way through. So you have to get all those off, plus inside here, go through the wheel well to get this fender liner off. You have to do that on both sides. So I'm gonna do that real quick. There's a ton of screws. So you have some down here, you have some along here, all along the corners, all along the back sides. You can see the mounts. There's probably like 15 or more. And then you have to kind of pull and wedge it to pop it off the brake duct as far as the air duct. And it's kind of a pain. You can see there's multiple mount points here. And on the back side, looks like it's got a little screen that they've got on there, and then it's also got some sound deadening insulation type material. I'm assuming it's for heat from inside the cabin, which is kind of interesting. But once you're under there, you can kind of see the bottom of the headlight, and I can see almost everything with this headlight. but I don't think I can still get this off without the bumper coming off, because I think there's some bolts in the front that I have to be able to get to, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, I have to be able to get to some on the very front side there. So fortunately there's gonna be a lot more steps to this, but there's the coolers. This is kind of what it looks like. Anybody who's interested in the inner wheel well. That probably took, I don't know, 10 minutes. Kind of a pain in the butt, just figuring out where everything's at and popping and trying not to break anything. So one thing I do want to reiterate, there are some hidden bolts. There's one in the corner here that's hardly won't notice, and there's actually a couple more 7mm that are going to be in the bottom, particularly on this bottom side over here, and those will have to come loose right there. So just be wary of that. You're going to notice there's a lot more that you'll kind of catch on trying to take this thing off. It should pop off pretty easily, and if it doesn't, then there's probably a bolt still on there. So all right, well, next step is going to be the front bumper, probably getting the under parts of this valence here all done. So there's probably who knows how many little T15s that we'll have to remove. Step is going to be getting this whole thing off. There's a lot of these T15s along this front splitter here. As you can see, probably, I don't know, 20 maybe, all along here at the bottom. Yeah, I'm just going to guess 20. And then once those are loose, then we're going to have to go back further, and there's some more of them, and it looks like there's some, no, it's the regular ones. I think there's some 7mm. So this plate has to come off, it's on the side, and then this plate looks like it has to come off on that side, and then maybe the center plate to get all up under here. So it's going to be a bunch of those removing. I'm not going to show each one of those being taken off, but I'll take them off and then show you popping them out, just kind of what's the process. And so if anybody's interested, and then kind of go from there. All the front ones off. If you go to the back, there's this little piece over here that's got 3, and then the 7s start right here in the back corner. There's 1, 2, 3 that I can count. 1, 2, 3 it looks like. 3 7mm. Everything else, oh shoot, I forgot a line of 15s there, so 2 more 15s, and then we'll have this off. It gets confusing. So this piece is the very front one that goes right here on the very front. In order to get to that one, you have to take the one from the back, and it's all 7s all along here. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. There's some on the side, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then once you get the back piece off, then this piece is mounted, and you have to go up inside these little holes. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just look here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 different kind of hidden spots to get this lower piece off here. And then that allows you access to the bottom part of the bumper to get to these bottom pieces off. And so then you can take those off from there. And I think once we do this, we're gonna have to set the car down and then get the top inner liner out of the front. So that's kind of gets this bottom part done mostly, besides the disconnection of these. I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick. Those look like 7mm too. So everything's pretty much 7mm. There's just tons and tons of them everywhere. So it's not been too bad. I'm probably, I don't know, an hour and a half into this, maybe an hour. And I feel like I'm getting pretty close getting this bumper off. Underneath, there's this bracket that comes up to the bumper right here. These bolts in the front look like that disconnects enough to where it separates. Then you've got 2 of the 7mm on each side. Those have to come loose as well. And then next there's going to be 2 connectors on the fenders. I've got to find them. They're in here somewhere. I think I got to lower the car down to kind of see them, but there's a connector. It's got to come loose on this side as well. On the other side you can already see it. And then this should pop off. There it is, this one. So I got to find that one on the other side and then pop it off. That just pulls, and then it's a push pin right there, and that should separate. And then I got to pop it out of that. So I'm gonna use a pry tool for that. One last thing from the bottom side, as you'll see right here, there's 3 other 7mm bolts that actually connect the fender up here. So those have to come off too, and then everything should be done from the bottom side. Then all these pieces have to come off. You have to pop all these inner liner to kind of get to everything under here, and this all pops out. Any of these up here at the front, so we can get to the back side here. This trim might have to come off. Maybe I'll just pop up. Pop off the center section here. You don't have to take the trim off. to get to all these bolts. Now these all just push and pop up. Just watch so you don't scratch your car in the corner. And these look all like the T15s. And I think once I do this, these are going to pop loose. Just pop up. I'm going to tape these first. I have PPF on it, but the corners don't. They kind of stop right there at the corner. So I'm going to put some tape just in case, and that should open access, and then we should have access to this headlight pretty much all the way around. I hope I don't have to take this fender off. I'm hoping I can get to everything without doing that, but we're about to find out. We gotta go out with it, and we're gonna walk it over here and set it on all this nice stuff. Okay, we don't want to scratch anything, so be very gentle. You don't want to have it touch anything on the fender. Don't pull, just do it very softly. It should just pull. Just make sure you do a lot of guiding here. Side. Let's go with the catch.
I got it.
We'll walk it over there. Okay, walk over there. We're just going to set it gently right here.
You may want to put something back here so it doesn't fall back.
All right, guys, that's the end of part one. Next up, we're going to be installing the front splitter, the apsis, the canards, which are fun because we're going to be cutting the bumper. Then we are going to be doing the grill guards, which I bought from eBay, little cheapos for 150 bucks. We'll go over the quality install process and how those look. And then after that, we got a headlight install, which will be a used one to see, are the early Stingray headlights compatible with the z06? So that question will all be answered. So please like and subscribe, and that way you'll be notified when part 2 comes out. And thanks for watching.